Hello and welcome to week 3. For week 3, the first thing that you'll do is complete your reading assignment. This week you're going to read Chapter 5, Sections 4 and 6, Chapter 8, Section 1, both from Let's Get Writing, and you do have your supplemental PowerPoints for writing a comparison, sentence types, and correcting sentence errors. Make sure you complete all of those before you move into the assignments for the week. As you look at the review section, we are moving into project number 2. So look over the project number 2 criteria. You've got your draft due this week, your final copy due next week. You are going to be writing a comparison. So remember, you're going to choose 2 or more items and you're going to examine them for similarities, differences, or both. You're going to build an analogy, which allows you to emphasize the similarities between the 2 items that would seem like they're nothing alike, but actually you're drawing that comparison, but you don't have to do an analogy. You'll want to consider the purpose. Why are you comparing these? What do you intend to show about them? You want to also consider your audience. Are they somebody familiar, or do you need to add a lot of details so they understand the places or the things or the people that you're comparing? And your body of your paper will either use block or alternating pattern, and that kind of information is given to you in both the reading and the PowerPoint, but ultimately, alternating pattern is going to move between points of comparison within a paragraph. So you might tell me a little bit about, for example, a beach in the wintertime as opposed to the same beach in the summertime. And you'll first talk about the sand, and then you'll talk about the water, and then you'll talk about maybe, the houses around the beach. But you'll stick in that pattern. So it'll be like beach, or the sand in the winter, sand in the summer, water in the summer, winter, water in the summer. I think you get the general point. In block pattern, you bring all those details together. So you would talk about the beach in the wintertime, all in one paragraph, and then you'd move to the beach in summer, all in one paragraph. But again, that's illustrated for you in the reading that you'll do. And we're sticking with that concept of community. We live in a community that stretches, out to our urban areas, to our rural areas. So I've given you some possible topics. You don't have to choose these, but definitely if you choose outside of these, just run it by me so that, my biggest fear, again, is that I don't want you to research. So I don't want details that you would find online about, for example, Comerica Park, exactly how many people it seats, and, if you had something like the average price of a ticket, that's pretty general. But to give specifics like, the year it was built and the architect, really what we want to look at is the experiences. So, if you were, for example, to compare a baseball game at Comerica Park to a football game at Ford Field, what happened for you? What was it like to be in both places? What did the overall experience feel like? What did you enjoy? That kind of thing. So you've got an opportunity to compare Detroit to a neighboring suburb. So you could do things like, add details, those points of comparison, like, neighborhoods, shopping, entertainment, visitor appeal. You could compare a street in a suburb to one in Detroit, something that runs all the way through, for example, a rural environment to an urban one, different museums, anywhere really. It doesn't have to be just in downtown. 2 different college environments in Michigan, but again, from your own experience. And then compare neighborhoods. It could be neighborhoods within Detroit, or it could be, comparing something like Royal Oak and Ferndale, something to that effect, to Michigan State Parks. But again, these are just ideas. If you do come up with a different idea, don't hesitate to run it by me, and I'll give you the guidance that I can. This is an assignment that you'll turn in, and what you'll need to do, it'll show you this image that it refused to connect. Click on the top link, and what this is going to do is force you to make a copy, because each of you can, have your own copy of this. And once you make a copy, what you're going to see is you're going to see a graphic organizer that I want you to write your thesis statement up at the top or type it in. You can get in here and edit. you'll tell me what item number 1 is and what item number 2 is. And then in these spaces, you can just insert images, but you're going to give me 10 images that illustrate your first item and 10 images that illustrate your second item. And again, you can size them. You can make this bigger. You can zoom in on the graphic organizer itself, so that make it easier for you to work with. But ultimately, when you get done, what you do is you just share so that anyone with the link can at least view, and then you'll have a link that you can share. You can copy that link and you can turn that in. If you have any questions about that, let me know. All right, so between the two, you're going to then move on, after you've done the reading and you've reviewed, you're going to move on to discussion form number 3. And in discussion form number 3, you're going to go ahead and post that graphic organizer. And then you're going to locate one fellow classmate's graphic organizer and answer the following questions. How should they how should they organize the body paragraphs? What do you think the general purpose is? To persuade, to inform, to express, to entertain? What's the purpose of the comparison? And what's one piece of advice you would offer the writer? So again, you will all post your graphic organizer. So you'll click on that link that can be viewed by anybody, put that link into your reply. So click reply, put your Google link in there, and then you're going to find somebody's and answer these questions. All right, then as you move on to the end of the week on Sunday, and remember, keep these dates in mind. This is Friday, this is Sunday. So project number 2 draft is due on Sunday, and you'll do your grammar and usage checkpoint by Sunday. If you have any questions about the week, don't hesitate to ask.